Feels very peaceful out here, even though I know I'm in pretend land. It's, because there's no cars around, it feels really peaceful. Holding to some birdies tweeting off in the distance. And here we are, Pennycook. Pennycook is a town and former borough of Midlothian, Scotland, lying on the west bank of the River North Esk. So I've just been looking at my YouTube stats, just browsing. Turns out I'm big in Thailand. Who would have thought? Yay! Thank you, Thailand. I think this is one of those places that aren't quite small enough to be a cozy little village, and they're not quite big enough to be cool and cosmopolitan. They're sort of just in the middle. The Pennycook. Hello! Hello! I like it when people wave. Makes it feel real, like they're paying attention. Ah, here we are, Lonehead. We are in Lonehead. Population 6,900. Day 88, it's the 22nd of September. If this is the first time you've watched one of my videos, you can always follow my full adventures on cyclevr.com or facebook.com/cyclevr. The choice is literally yours. IKEA. I always used to wonder, do the houses that are nearby IKEA, are they just full of IKEA stuff? This is so weird because I'm so familiar with this part of the country. I've been here so many times. Beds, 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 beds. I do love some of the approaches to Edinburgh, how they've got so much foliage as you go into the town. I think that is Arthur's Seat ahead of us, that mountain over there. They don't want to be seen. I think that's the first one I've seen in Scotland that's been blurred out. Oh, and I've only just noticed Edinburgh, population 459,000 people. Potato Land! If you remember nothing else about Edinburgh, remember Potato Land. Here's all the old part of town. It's the side of Edinburgh that's old, and we'll go over the bridge, and it'll be all new. So weird being here, I've been here so many times. And here we are, the main street of Edinburgh, Princes Street. And it's got this big black tower thing right in the middle of it. Stick tarred heads on top of the spikes to ward off any invaders. Look at that. Pretty big. Well, that was the main street of Edinburgh. Next stop, the Forth Bridge. And in case you didn't know, I'm planning a Kickstarter where you can buy one of these crazy contraptions and do the same thing and cycle anywhere in the world. Oh yes. Saw a great photo yesterday. I didn't realise in the previous video that I'd done going through the middle of the main street of Edinburgh. Just outside Scott's Monument was two people fighting, which I thought was a really classy way of summing up Scotland. You can go and see that in my photos section on cyclevr.com, along with all of my many other hilarious photos that I've found along the way. There's a hearse. I think that's my first hearse. Aha! We can go infinity speed again. That's what those signs mean. Infinite. In case you're not from Britain and you ever decide to come and visit over here, they don't really mean infinite. I don't want to get in trouble because I said that. Just imagine all these tourists renting cars and doing a bazillion miles an hour because I said so. Day 90, it's the 26th of September. South Queensferry, that's where we're going. If you're not from Britain or you don't have a similar sign, that means the left lane is about to end in 600 yards. Who on earth still uses yards? Come on, what kind of year do we live in? We'll be paying for things in florins soon. I'm being overtaken again. Must pedal faster. Wow, it's dark in here. Don't think I've been in such a dark tunnel before. So there we are, there's the Forth rail. Very nice bridge. The old Forth Road, and you can see the pylons for the new one sticking up with a bit sticking out. I think I like that bridge so much because it's so very over-engineered for what it needs to do. Look at the size of that. You get a really good sense of height because I have to actually look up like this to see it. That's enormous! If you're afraid of heights, this is probably a good way to train how not to be. In VR, where it's nice and safe. Off to the left up here is Dunfermline. Don't really know much about Dunfermline except that I went there once to pick up a pinball machine. Perth, 33 miles, that's where I'm going. Wow, there's a house. Blue and yellow. And there's another one. It's like a mirror reverse. What's going on? Blue and yellow. So yes, Dunfermline. Apparently, I didn't realise, it used to be the royal capital of Scotland up until the 17th century. Many a king and queen have been born here. I'm not seeing any sign of royalty yet. Perhaps they're having a day off. Birdies. Lots of birdies. Ah, and suddenly I'm going up a little country path. Nice tree in bloom. And I'm in the country again. Hooray! After I've been in cities for a while, I always enjoy getting back out in the country again. It's a very nice feeling going down these hills and these big, long, slow bends. There's a doggy asleep on his doorstep. Aha, Kinross. Kinross. Never been here before. Yeah, I think these are probably definitely my favouriteest places to visit in the whole journey. Little villages with lots of interesting buildings and things going on. Well, Kinross is quite a pretty little town, actually. Some of these old buildings are nice. If you're looking for somewhere new to live, this might be a nice way to tour around the neighbourhood. And right next door to Kinross is Milnathorpe. It's at the foot of the Ochil Hills, apparently. When you live in Scotland, you have to get your ochs right. An orange house with blue. That's different. Whoa, a big church. Wow, that's pink. That is all of the pink. Day 93, it's the 3rd of October, and I don't want to alarm or upset anybody, but I'm in a different place. Yes, I've moved. Oh, and one other thing I should explain is that I don't have any Wi-Fi yet, so I'm having to pinch some Wi-Fi on my phone and come back here with it. So I only get to do half a journey for the next 20 days until I get some Wi-Fi. It'll be exciting. What have we got here? Dawn Drumsey? Drumsey? That was very hard to read. Bins, 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 bins. What have we got here? We've got Duncreedy. Duncreedy. Glenarg? Glenfarg. Glenfarg we're in. There's a lot of little villages very close to each other just now. Some pretty cottages. Not so pretty sheds. As a reminder, there's a newly established discussion forum on my blog if you wish to talk about anything, particularly the impending Kickstarter and your thoughts on what it should involve and what you'd like out of it. Please do sign up and join in the conversation. I love the Perthshire countryside. I forgot to mention that I'm actually in Perthshire. So some wonderful places there. We're in the wide open pastures of Perthshire. Miles and miles. It always intrigues me how the very first thing you're presented when you get entering a town is the cemetery. I'm not sure what they're trying to say about their town. Enter here and you will die? It's like how they used to put tarred heads on pikes years ago to ward off enemies. So I think this might be Bridge of Erin. And it looks like there's been quite a bit of new development going on here. It seems really odd living out in the middle of the country and moving into a flat. How very British. And I think we're going to cross over the River Erin. No? No. Not a bridge. Oh yes it is, there it is. The River Erin. Majestic. I like how they do things like that. Flowers at the ends of bridges. Just makes it look a little bit nicer. And there it is, the Bridge of Erin. I love these countrysides. All the hills and the fields, houses. Fields of purest white. Day 95, it's the 5th of October. Well, it's Spaghetti Junction here. Here we are, Perth. It's a very lovely autumny entrance into Perth. That's rather nice, isn't it? The Tay River. Milne's Cold Storage and Ice Factory. Seems odd thinking that you need a factory to make ice. Can't you just get out your fridge? I do like Perth. Some of the buildings in it are very nice. I like the drive along the river. So I've got the River Taste on the right here. It's funny, a lot of these buildings I've never really looked at closely before because I've just been zooming past in the car, but now of course I'm going quite slowly, so it's good being able to see these things. The Bongko. Ah, a church for sale. Wonder how much they want. Ah, there's Herbie. There's Herbie. Never liked the Herbie film. And we're heading to Inverness, apparently. Wow, look at this traffic going the other way. It's bumper to bumper. Of course, I'm not taking the boring A9 all the way, because it's boring on the bike. I'm going this way, to one of the little side roads. Ah, that's better already. And there we have 1,100 kilometers. Fist bump. Come on, cows, get up and cheer for me. Lazy things.